Hello, my friends, and welcome to episode 29 of the Comedian's Tea Party. In this episode, I have got the wonderful Josh James. Now, first and foremost, apologies to Josh because he is the first of all my guests that have really chased me up on where this podcast has been. And apologies, I've been snowed under. It's, hey, personal stuff rocks up, doesn't it? It happens. It gets snowed under. I've been very busy, oddly very busy doing very little, but there's been a lot going on. So yeah, here we are. It's cool. I'm back. So thanks for tuning back in, guys. I really appreciate all of your listens. This is a really lovely conversation. I really enjoyed it. Some really sort of touching moments. We talk about our family a bit later on, and Josh gets a bit emotional. At one point, I should point out, it sounds like I'm laughing at the sad news that he gave me. I'm not. I was laughing at the fact that for a moment I thought he was getting emotional over biscuits. Well, technically he was, but it led on to something else. I continued to laugh because of the awkward nature of it. I wasn't laughing at the news that he gave me. Very sad to hear that. I played a similar game in this as I did to Russ McGrain's episode, in that Josh swore a lot. Now, swearing on this podcast, absolutely fine. It happens a lot. I'm talking to adults. I'm an adult. Generally, adults listening. So, swearing happens. It's fine. Nobody really cares too much. But Josh did sort of warn me early on that he was going to swear a lot. And I thought immediately, all right, I'll do what I did with Russ McGrain and see if I could go out of my way to bleep out all of Josh's swear words, which I think I managed most of them. I've let some slip through the net, and I just missed some because I'm only human. But nevertheless, just in case you're offended, there's some language. We talk about how, because we're both from Essex, and we're both sort of, I don't know if it's the right way to say it. Josh is more from Essex than I am. We're both from Essex. We're both very from Essex, but Josh is like really from Essex. Plays up to the sort of the Towie type thing, and he loves it, which is fair enough. It works for him. It works well. He's a very funny guy with it, so it's cool. I don't dislike it. It's just not for me, which leads on to a bit of a conversation about Essex accents, and Josh has done some research into accents, which is interesting, which also sort of leads on to a conversation about his new podcast with his model friend. Again, an interesting conversation. I'm looking forward to hearing that podcast with his friend when that comes out. It's called Get On This, so when that comes out, have a look for that. I should think that will be very interesting indeed. And also look up his mate, because what a handsome guy. I should point out that at one point I stated some facts about political things, which I don't know for certain that they're true. I just sort of read them on the internet in passing and passed them off as facts, but they may not be. We'll see. But for now, it's a really lovely episode. I hope you enjoy it. I really enjoyed listening back to it. I'll see you on the other side with some links and some other things and whatever stuff I mentioned. Oh, I should point out, right? I'll tell you what. I've got some exciting stuff to mention. I'll mention it in the outro. So keep listening, and you'll hear that. Enjoy the podcast. It's good, isn't it?
Lovely, love the mugs.
That is, my fiance got me those.
Yeah, really cool.
Right, yeah, we've started, by the way.
Oh, have we?
Yeah.
Cool.
I always like a casual start. So I've just realised that my glasses, I can't really see it on my left eye.
Can you
anymore.
not?
No.
You look like you looks a bit bloodshot.
Yeah, well, I've got cataract. So
oh, blimey.
I put about 100 eye drops in a day. That's better. This corner of the glasses was...
You've got new glasses?
I didn't used to have glasses.
Did you not?
No, so
that's
what you're thinking of.
Yeah.
That's the funny thing, is people don't realise that I got glasses because, as Bobby Mayer said, they suit your face. So,
they do. Yeah, you used to look. They seem like a glasses guy.
Yeah.
Like, I wear glasses, but people always think that I'm like wearing them as a fashion statement. So that's why I try not to wear them as much, because
wear them ironically.
Yeah, people just, and my ones are like the big. I got big like Ray-Bans ones, almost like the quite Wayfarer, like 60s ones.
Yeah.
So they look like the sort of type that you get in Top Man and that.
Yeah, plastic lenses.
Yeah, but I'm not that. But thanks for having me, mate.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for coming on.
Lovely cup of tea.
I was going to, shall we?
Yeah, let's have a little cheers. There we go.
Yeah. I've got a tea that many of my guests have had in the past, including myself. I have had it, which is it's the Twinings Super Blends Turmeric Tea, which, as described by many people, tastes like a Christmas ramen.
Yeah, I'm not. Do you know what? I don't about with other. Can I swear on the podcast?
Oh yeah, you can say what.
Cool.
If it feels a bit excessive, then I'll just bleep it out.
Yeah,
but yeah.
I know some people get funny about that, but I swear a lot as like part of my. And I don't realise I've got a little nephew, and like my sister's like, do you realise how much you swear? And like I use them as,
punctuation.
Yeah, punctuation. That's so. Yeah, I use like if I can't think of a word, like it's not good, but whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah.
People don't like swearing. I don't know. I don't get people that don't like swearing because doesn't. I suppose it depends what sort of world you're from, really, but it doesn't really offend me.
I'm trying to think. You weren't at that gig. There was a gig. Obviously, Ross McGrain loves a good swear.
Yeah.
And I think he talked about it on his episode of the podcast. But there was a gig in Lee. Did you ever do Peggy Sue's when he's doing gigs?
Yeah. It's quite cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was lovely gig. But there was, I think it was the first one, and there was like this Christian couple in there. And
I remember, and they kicked off about him swearing.
Yeah, they properly kicked off. Like, the girl threw a glass at him, the geezer threatened.
And they were
Ross.
Christian.
Yeah. It's like, oh, just forgive me. Like, what you... It's ridiculous. They're such arseholes. It's so funny. Well, I mean, it was intense at the time. But, like, all the geezers that sort of drink in there regularly anyway, they're all, like, just proper geezers.
Yeah, they swear all the
just
time.
Ready to sort of
I don't get
rip
that.
them apart.
I mean, if you're going to a comedy night, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, you can't. I mean, I get people get triggered by jokes and whatever you, which is a load of bollocks anyway. But if you're getting offended by swearing, then you just need to grow up, really, don't you? Do you know what I mean? Though?
Yeah.
Like some people must live such sheltered lives that they don't. They're mad. But anyway, but this is a nice cup of tea, just standard English tea.
Yeah. Well, So, like a lot of people go with the theme. Obviously, this is I like to have a tea on this. That's generally what it's all about.
Yeah, it's good to have a theme because it starts a conversation, doesn't it? I'm sure we won't talk the whole time about tea, but
no, absolutely not. No.
Yeah.
But most people will be like, oh, so what tea have you got? And I'll offer, and I did. I offered you some interesting teas.
Yeah, I had no fucking interest,
but,
did I?
you were like, no. Which one's most like fucking PG tea?
Yeah, mate. When it comes to anything, I mean, when it comes to tea, I'm a bit of a tea monster. I'll have about 5 or 6 glasses of tea a day.
Glasses? Like pint glasses?
No, of this.
Cups, yeah.
Yeah, cups.
Yeah.
Yeah, what did I say? Glasses.
You said glasses.
Cups.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't have any glass. But yeah, I love tea. I should drink more water, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just love tea. But yeah, I don't really about with any like the green tea or anything like that, really.
Yeah, well, that's why I started this anyway, because I didn't, but I liked the look of it. People look cultured, and I realise now that they were just poncy gits.
You know me, mate.
Yeah.
You know me. With anything, I'm just not very adventurous. Like with tea, I mean, even with eating, I don't eat any salad. I eat very little fruit. I mean, it's all going to come back to bite me in the arse later on in life, I'm sure. But I'm a very plain eater.
Now, when you say very little fruit, do you mean not much of it, or like
I'll have a
grapes
banana.
And
I'll have an apple if I'm really pushing myself. And then, like, in terms of salad, I mean, if you count green peas as a salad, that's all I really eat, or sort of sweet corn. But anything else...
I don't like sweet corn.
Nah, I mean...
I've got a lot into other vegetables, though. Like, I've always liked carrots, but, like, I've got really into...
that's
got really into broccoli and cauliflower.
If I go to, like, McDonald's, I'll have a chips, and then for a burger, I'll be like, you got to take everything out. I'll just have the burger and the bun. Like, I went and had McDonald's recently, and the girl, like, the young girl serving was quite... she's quite young, bless her. And I was like, so basically what I want is I want a burger, I want the cheese and just the bun. It's just like, and then like, no, I was like, a bit of bacon. I was like, no mayo, no lettuce, blah, blah, blah. And I was saying all these things. She was like, okay, so just the bun and the cheese. She was like, do you want the meat? I was like, yeah, I want the meat, because otherwise it would be a cheese sandwich. So, I'm very plain eater, so.
I used to work at McDonald's, and...
Did you?
Yeah.
What was that like?
I was alright, actually. It wasn't that bad. Yeah, a lot of people give out about it, but it's all right.
I've never. Just some of the worst sort of people I see. I see at McDonald's, so I can imagine they get shitty with you.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. It was a little bit, but yeah.
McDonald's in Southend?
At the airport, yeah.
At the airport?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
But that was like
Hold on.
18 years ago.
There was a McDonald's at the airport?
There still is, yeah.
There still is?
Yeah, it's a drive-through.
Oh, okay. It's not actually in the airport.
No,
Southend
not
airport.
in the.
I was going to say.
No, in the retail park. Like,
yeah, right, okay. There.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
But obviously, you never venture further than
Mate,
Southend,
I was just about to say, obviously, what we're in Shoebury-Ness now.
Yeah.
I mean, Southend was always a mission for me. And when I was younger, growing up, I was thinking this on the drive down here. Like, when I was about 13, 14, if we had a big day out, we jumped on the train to Southend, and it was great because, like, as a teenager, Southend's great. You got the amusements, you got the party, you got the beach. I mean, even a lot of my mates were from sort of Hornchurch, Romford way, so it was even further for them. And I'm obviously from Brentwood, so. But even it was far then. But I was thinking, there's nothing in my mind. I think there's nothing further than Southend. You know, like I didn't think there's anything further than, you know, Southend's a real big day out for me.
Yeah.
You know, Southend was the end of my universe, basically.
Yeah.
So to then come over, you know, Southend and come to Shoebury-Ness.
Across the borders.
I've actually, I mean, obviously, you know, pride myself on being from Essex.
Yeah.
And that's a big part of my act. I'm thinking, this part of Essex I've never been in my life. And it was really interesting driving down there, and I'm looking at the sat nav, thinking, "God, like there's all sea around there." It's quite nice that you're sort of, you feel like you're right at the end of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you find it's quite peaceful around here?
It's all right. Yeah, it's not bad.
You know,
It's fairly
it's
peaceful.
like away from the madness of Southend, sort of.
Yeah.
But there's something about being near the sea as well. I think is quite good for the soul. You know?
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know, just like being near something that's like, there's nothing else that, you know.
I mean, a 20-minute walk that way, and I'm on the beach.
Yeah.
So.
What about here though? Is this cliffs to that way?
No, that's fields.
Oh, it's fields.
Yeah.
But the sea is there though.
Where are we? Yeah, there's like that way. That way's.
It's not great for
land.
a podcast, is it?
No.
I was pointing.
No. For the listeners, we've just pointed in all sorts of directions.
Yeah, just pointed at your stairs.
Yeah. So yeah, the sea's over there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that way is just inland, and then you're over there.
Brentwood.
Yeah. Done many points there. So if you couldn't see into the podcast, then you've just missed out there.
But I spend a lot of my time in Southend through the gigging. You know, there's a lot of good gigs around here.
Yeah.
And Southend, I was saying to you before we started this, you know, like during lockdown, like within, I would say, there's a bit of a bunch of people, stand-up comedians that sort of based in Essex. A lot of them are based in Southend.
Yeah.
So there's obviously a lot of gigs this way, and you know, the likes of you, Ross McCrane. I say, like, you know, I miss that sort of comedy community that I'd see you every few weeks and say, you know, how's it going? What's the new jokes like this and that? And I sort of miss that sort of sense of camaraderie.
Yeah.
And Southend's a big part of where I've done a lot of my, you know, development in stand-up in terms of, you know, a lot of gigs.
Yeah.
A lot of new material here and the sort of bigger gigs as well. And yeah, without Southend, mate, I don't, you know, certainly wouldn't be probably as sort of half decent as I am at stand-up now. Cause it's been so, you know, I mean, it takes half an hour from Brentwood, but that's relatively short amount of time.
Absolutely, yeah.
In terms of gigging, you know, you think, God, we go to Manchester, Liverpool. To
yeah.
I drive to Manchester. You know, last few times I've done Manchester, like Comedy Store or whatever. I drive there and I drive back.
Oh yeah, I've
that's
done
like
that.
4 hour. That's 8 hour round trip.
I did. Went to Newcastle.
Oh mate, I couldn't
Newcastle
do that
back
far.
in the day. And I had a double preview with Bobby Mayer in Falmouth, which is like so that's down in Cornwall. Yeah.
Oh.
But that is
Did
not.
you drive him?
Yeah, I drove us both. Yeah, obviously drove us both. I didn't just drive him and not myself.
Yeah.
But Falmouth is you get down to Cornwall and then you have to go back around on yourself and sort of further in. Yeah, because it's like it's real. So yeah.
Mate, they're like their own country down there, aren't they, Cornwall? Well, they sort of want to be, don't they? When I've been down Cornwall before, there's like all these flags, and they're like, "Yeah, you do know Cornish people don't like English people." I'm like, "Well, they are English," and they're like, "No, they're not. They don't really like you."
That's
so
not strictly true.
No, is it not? Okay.
No. They're very friendly.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
I thought, well, that's just me, just always thinking about the worst.
No. Who told you that?
Well, quite a few people actually that weren't from Cornwall, so they don't know what they're talking about. But
yeah.
Whenever I go somewhere, I think, oh, they're not going to like me here. When I done the stand in Newcastle, what a club that was, and I'm thinking, I've never done Newcastle before. I'm thinking, and they was like, I mean, not that I'm a Cockney, I'm from Essex, but they're like, yeah, and Geordies don't like Cockneys. And obviously, when people hear me on stage or hear me talking, obviously a common misconception can be they think, obviously, that I am a Cockney, but I'm not. I'm an Essex person, Essex boy. But obviously that's out. So I'm thinking, oh Christ, are they gonna fucking just hate me as soon as I start opening my mouth? But when I've done that run of gigs up there, so obviously the stand you do Newcastle, Edinburgh, and Glasgow.
Yeah.
I mean, Newcastle was the last night, and it was just brilliant, like absolutely great.
It's wicked.
Like
It's
they
lovely
were just
club.
so up for it, so lovely, great club. I mean, it was all such a pleasure up there, really.
There's a kindred spirit with Newcastle, because there's obviously Geordie Shore and Essex.
They've got fucking shit reality TV shows as well.
Yeah.
But
twinned.
Yeah. They've got those sort of. There's pockets of people like that in the country, aren't they? Where they're just sort of like that. As to put it, but that is sort of like that. Oh, I don't want to say trashy, but
Say it.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Sort of like where younger people just don't really give a fuck, and they're very obsessed with their appearance and stuff like that. I suppose one's a Newcastle, you got Essex, you got Liverpool.
Yeah,
they haven't got one of their own shows anymore, but yeah, there's pockets of them around the
Did Liverpool have a show?
They had a show called Desperate Scousewives that was on for about 2 series. I don't know what show. I think it might have been on Channel 4.
I mean, with a name like that, I'm amazed they did 2 series, to be honest.
I mean, Scousers are funny.
Yeah,
they're funny and they're real characters. I mean, everyone always gives stick to them programs, but a lot of people like them programs.
Oh, yeah.
And what I also quite, I almost feel like the only way is Essex in a way. Sort of people like knock it and stuff, but in a strange sort of way, people from Essex sort of half proud that they've got that show because whether it's good or bad, they've sort of got an identity, and it's been good. I mean, it's done my sort of like, doing a stand up and stuff. Like, I'm a very easy recognisable character. Like, I've got a very easy recognise. I've got my persona. I've got my character and my persona on stage, and it's like without shows like The Only Way Is Essex, I suppose, like I wouldn't have. I've got a very much. I feel like that sets me apart a little bit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't just make me sort of any old Tom, Dick, and Harry. I've very much. Oh, you can tell what sort of world I'm from.
Yeah.
And shows like Towie have helped to create that identity that I've now got on stage.
Yeah.
If
So
that makes sense.
you've got like an easily recognisable.
Stereotype.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah. There's a particular word I'm looking for, and I can't think of what it is, but it gives you that sort of relatability before you start. Because I think, like, kind of when I go out, like, obviously I'm from Essex and I always have been, but I don't think my accent was suggested. Well, for instance, when I did Newcastle for the first time at the stand, I got heckled, and the guy asked. He just put his hand up, so it was very polite, and he said, "Are you posh or Australian?"
Oh, really?
And I was like, "No, neither of those."
But, yeah, you see, I wouldn't say you've got a posh accent.
No, but
I
speak reasonably well.
Do.
Yeah, that's it. But I speak reasonably well and sort of enunciate sort of as well as I can.
I would say your accent's quite sort of like standard English, but then you've got characteristics in the way that you speak that I can pick up on anyway that are estuary English.
Well, that's absolutely. 'Cause when it's when I was doing Edinburgh stand for the first time. Do you know of Amy Matthews?
Name rings a bell, but I can't say I do.
She did podcast a little while ago.
Right.
She's great, but she's from Leigh on Sea.
Right.
And like we'd never met before, but she moved up there and it ended up staying there and sort of got into comedy. But like I was talking to someone else, and then she just interrupted and she went, "I recognise that accent."
Oh really? Yeah.
She said, "You sound like you're from exactly where I'm from," and I was like, "Where are you from?" And she's like, "I'm from Leigh." I was like, "Oh bloody hell, yeah. I'm from Rochford."
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, it was really funny.
I suppose with me, it's all like all that sort of stuff has been good because I sort of play on that on stage. Obviously, that I'm sort of like the Essex boy, but I like to feel like my jokes and a lot of stuff, like one person described me as like I tell deceptively clever laddish jokes, which is sort of like what I suppose what I'm going for.
Yeah.
I've got to feel like I've got
That's
a bit more substance other than I don't know.
Yeah,
making jokes about cocks and
yeah.
tits,
My missus.
Yeah, exactly. So it's sort of been good because you can also play on the stereotype and then like go again, tell a joke that go against that, stuff like that. But yeah, I suppose it's just, I suppose I've got the accent and stuff, which is just a bit more recognisable that it's from Essex, really.
Yeah, that's it. Like I've got, my fiance, she's from Colchester, and she's convinced that I've got like the most Essex accent.
Colchester don't really have an accent, though, do they? I mean,
she
they don't actually. I've been, the only people with Colchester with, I think, strong sort of accents are often people that have moved from more from a part of Essex which has been closer to London.
Yeah.
Colchester, you don't necessarily.
They've almost got a sort of like a Suffolk, Norfolk sort of accent.
Yeah, well, before I've done a lot of research into it because I was writing that show about my nan and which obviously didn't happen because with the Edinburgh Fringe got cancelled. But a big part of the show was quite a bit about migration because like my sort of family history is I'm Catholic. Family were from Ireland, moved to the East End, and then like my grandparents moved from the East End out to Essex. So there's a lot big about sort of migration. In that, and I can't remember what my fucking point was now. Oh mate.
You accents.
But yeah. But fucking. Oh mate.
You're doing research.
I was doing research.
Do you know what?
But sorry, this was my point. Sorry, mate. But anyway, through the research, the Essex accent used to be a lot more of like a accent, like more of like a Suffolk accent. It was a bit more of a country accent.
Yeah.
And it was really people from London moving out that sort of polluted it.
Yeah.
And now I suppose the Essex accent, the way I speak, is not really like how they used to speak in the old East End, Yeah. It's the sort of Essex accent now. If you look at it, if you watch programs like Towie, a lot more of a lazier way of speaking.
Yeah.
Like if you've seen the videos of my nan, for example, she's really common.
Yeah.
But is very strangely articulate in a way. You understand every word.
Yeah.
You can understand exactly what they're saying. I feel like with a lot of Essex accents now, you don't really get that. It's a bit of a drooly way of speaking.
Yeah,
and can be quite lazy and, drop a lot of words and they punctuate a lot of words. And, it's quite interesting if you look into it. If you go from the surface, scratch the surface and you look into sort of different ways of speaking, how people spoke, back there. I mean, like, this is why I used to love talking to my nan so much because the way that she used to speak, like, people don't speak like that anymore.
Yeah.
It's just such an interesting way of speaking, the pronunciation on certain words and stuff like that. But yeah, the Essex accent used to be more of like a countrified.
Yeah.
Of course it would be.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Of course it would be because Essex is
an old county.
Yeah, it used to be really rural.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing early 1900s, it was a lot more like that,
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, especially like if you consider the Colchester accent is slightly more like the sort of Suffolk, Norfolk sort of accent. It's also is it the oldest city in the country?
Colchester might be,
Yeah, I think it's the first city or first town
Colchester,
or something like
you're
that.
closer to Suffolk.
Yeah,
you're
absolutely.
probably about 10-15 minutes from Suffolk?
Yeah, depends. But I know 20-30 minutes, something like that. I don't know. But when I was travelling up there all the time to see my now fiance, we'd pop over to Suffolk and it'd be 30-40 minutes and we'd be sort of in.
Yeah.
So yeah, something like that. Yeah. It's pretty close. It's on the border, pretty much, isn't it? So
but it was I mean, what baffles me is when I go to gig in Ipswich. Sometimes I've done a few times, and there's a couple of boys there that I know really well who really booked me for quite a few things. Glass Eye Comedy, and they're top guys, really nice guys. They're from Ipswich, and Ipswich is about 20 minutes from Colchester, and that amazes me how much different that accent is from people living in Colchester. And I find accents and the way people speak so interesting, especially if you go. We were just talking about Manchester and Liverpool. If you go up there, it baffles me that you've got Liverpool, you've got that real Scouse accent. You only drive half hour to Manchester. The Manc accent is completely different.
Yeah, and
I'm thinking that is only half an hour apart. But then I start thinking, what's interesting about that is that means people don't really mix. Yeah. They live half an hour apart, but they very much live in their community. They live in their community. You know, the
that is
Scousers
interesting.
live in their community, mates live in their community, and I'm sure there's a bit of transition, you know, in between.
Yeah.
But I just find that fascinating, you know.
Yeah.
That's
It really is.
so interesting.
It always blows my mind when I get in my car. Sort of, you know, if I've got sort of good energy about me, and I'll drive for like 3-4 hours before I stop for a wee, and then get out of the car and go, oh, I'm in a different place.
Yeah.
Because like you don't really notice, do you? Because you're sort of sat in that one little box for ages, and then you get out, and all of a sudden everyone's accent's changed.
Yeah. Yeah, I find it fascinating. Really interesting. But I could talk about accents all day.
Yeah. Just realised that we are 25 minutes in.
Oh,
and
wow.
I've not done the intro yet. So we'll lose all of that. No, it all stays in. I mean, there's not really any point in doing it now, but I will for the sake of prosperity.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to episode 29 of the Comedian's Tea Party. We are half an hour in. I've got Josh James. I've not said that earlier, so I mean, I'll say it in the intro. I'll record an intro as well, so it's fine. People will know.
So
I'm
I'm a chatterbox when you get me going.
No,
mate.
it's fine. It's all right.
Sorry.
It's all good. I should have expected that. Right, I put on Facebook one of those like question things. I wanted to get some questions, and I've only had one so far. But to be fair, I didn't do it
Shows
that
what a
long
big
before we
following I've
started.
got.
I should have done it. Shouldn't have done it much sooner. From my fiance, and she said, "Has Si done the washing up yet, Josh?"
Have you?
I have,
it
yeah.
looks pretty clean in here, mate. To be honest.
Yeah. I ran around with a hoover. So that's that question. That is. I did another story telling people what the question was and that they should listen in to find out what happens. So big reveal. I did the washing up. Yeah, very exciting. What's your go-to tea?
Go-to tea. I like a Yorkshire tea.
Yeah.
Or PG tips, just English tea, and I can have like no sugar. I was just saying to you, sometimes prefer it without sugar because I like to taste the tea, and then sometimes I have the sugar if I just want to put myself up a little bit. Depends.
Yeah. That's it. If I'm having one of those, which you're having, so I talk about this all the time because they completely ignored me and never sent me any free stuff. But I love their tea, so I bought it anyway. Talk about it all the time. It's Smuggler's Brew from the Cornish Tea Company. Is what you're having there.
Send some fucking tea, you tight ass.
Yeah, come on, you bastard. Now, what I find is that's not dissimilar from Yorkshire tea, but it's just got like a slight.
Mate, an English tea's an English tea for me.
Can you not discern?
No, mate, I'm nah. I can't really chat. I'll tell you what, one tea, English tea, that I can tell the difference between, but obviously it's really expensive. Fortnum and Mason.
Oh, okay.
And I had a tin of that. I got a tin for Christmas, and I was like, "Whoa, this is gorgeous."
Is it really?
And really nice. I mean, it costs a lot, and I was like, I'm always gonna have Fortnum Mason tea now. And I looked at the price. I was like, well, actually, the amount I drink tea is just like, I shouldn't be doing that.
It's an occasional treat.
Yeah. Christmas time one. I love a tea, Si. I love a tea.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need to get some of these mugs made.
Yeah.
Something.
What, the Comedian's Tea Party ones?
Yeah, these are I need to get some merch. So what would I put on the mug?
Just your face, I think.
My face? I've not really got any catchphrases. So I don't know. I can't really
Hello, I'm Josh.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, we put that on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This isn't actually merch as such. That's my fiance got those made for me. I am currently looking into getting some merch made.
Get some merch. I need to get some merch. I mean, should the time come I start a podcast, which fingers crossed I will, then I'll be knocking out a bit of merch.
Oh, sure. Yeah. What's the podcast going to be?
So, it's me and a mate of mine called James Turner, who's a model.
Is that the geezer that you posted a photo with?
Yeah,
Like,
he doesn't look real.
He is handsome.
He's handsome.
Right, I never realised that I had that level of appreciation for people's chins until I saw his. And then I watched a film yesterday with Henry Cavill in it, and I was like, oh, he has got an incredible... Like, his chin is a wall.
Yeah, he looks like a movie star.
Yeah.
He looks like a movie star, but if you... And from his pictures, you'd think, God, this guy, he must be like Sean Connery or something. As soon as he opens up his mouth, he sounds like a bin man. So when I got talking to him on Instagram, and he sent me voice notes like, "Oh, I like your stuff and that." And when this guy's sending me voice notes, I'm thinking, no, this picture of this guy and this guy's voice does not match up. I thought he was taking the piss out of the way I spoke.
Oh, okay.
But he don't. He's a really interesting character, and he's a model. Models for all different sort of people, but he's
a handsome guy.
Yeah, and he's really handsome, and it's not great getting a photo next to him because. He's very good. He's model looking, like you know, like he just doesn't look, doesn't look real. But yeah, he's a real funny character, such a character, and hopefully we're going to start doing a podcast together where we just sort of talk about news and talk about life and that, and he's we bounce off each other really well, and yeah, I think we'll do something. I mean, with me and him, like the way the reason we get along, and I think is because we talk. Like, I suppose on the outset you would class us as like geezers,
Yeah.
But we've got a lot more about us,
Yeah.
And we talk about things that I suppose like average blokes we don't really talk about. Like he's a big fan of the Beatles. We talk ages about music, not just bloody what house tunes you like.
Yeah.
It's like we talk. I love Motown. I love Frank Sinatra. Yeah, I love all. Really for me. I don't really like much modern music, The only modern music I suppose I'm really into is people like Adele, maybe John Legend,
Yeah.
But yeah, we talk really in depth about things. We have a laugh.
Have you heard Gregory Porter?
Gregory Porter, I love Gregory Porter.
Big fan.
Yeah. His latest album, I was just listening to that on the way here actually.
Oh, it was great.
Really, really good. But yeah, we talk a lot about. I don't know. I just feel like the podcast would be. Something you wouldn't expect. And I think that would make a good podcast.
Yeah.
Because, on the outset, you might think we're one way, but actually, if you scratch the surface, we've got a lot more about us. And, and it'll be funny, I think, as well, because we have a laugh together.
Yeah, nice, man. Oh, it sounds good.
But yeah.
Have you got a name for it? Just give it a plug.
Yeah, because he's sort of like in the fashion world, I've said, like, you sort of at all the styling stuff. So it's going to be called Get On This.
Okay.
That's the name that he come up with. I think it's good though.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're sorting out all the.
It feels like quite an Essex sort of.
Yeah, it's quite a. Yeah, he
Get
was
on
just,
this.
Yeah, I think it basically that's because it's sort of colloquialism that we would use.
Yeah.
But he's in charge of all that side of things. The way it looks, the name of it, that's all his domain. I'm just pretty much sort of sorting out, just trying to sort of direct it a bit more.
Yeah.
But he's, he knows how things should look. And I trust him.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what I'm talking about.
That's cool, man.
I wear tracksuits all the time. He knows stylistically what looks cool, and I suppose it will get people's attention.
Yeah, that's what you need.
Yeah.
That's this gets some attention. It's not as much as it should. I'll get him on. He'll
Mate, I love the branding though. It's cool. I just think it's cool. I like, I've listened to quite a few of your podcasts, and I think you've got a nice way of getting stuff out of people.
Yeah.
You're not too overbearing, and I like tea as well, which is always. I'm thinking, I'd like to have a nice tea with Si.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we're doing this.
Here we are. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're having my favourite tea.
Yeah. Smuggler's tea.
Yeah.
That'll probably
Smuggler's
be.
brew. It's
That'll
incredible.
be a bit of me from now on.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. So I showed you before. My fiance bought me a 1,100 bag catering bag of it. You can get smaller boxes and stuff, but like
you'll get through that.
But that bag was like, if you're drinking like 5 cups of tea a day, you're all good. But that bag was like £16 or something, so it's well worth it.
Yeah,
because obviously caterers get sort of bulk bags and whatever, and sort of work their way through it. But yeah, it's nice. It's worth trying. I'll send you a link to it.
Yeah, do.
Are you a biscuit dunker?
I love biscuits.
Yeah. What's your basket?
Basket.
What's your basket?
Biscuit. What do I like? I mean, I like custard creams.
Yeah.
Solid.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like
great
bourbons.
choice. Yeah.
Bourbons, solid. I like a little cheeky rich tea finger.
Oh,
lovely.
When you say the finger, do you mean like?
They're not like the finger side. They're like that.
Like a chocolate bar
it's
type
like
thing.
an oval shape.
Oh,
they're lovely. Oh, do you know what? Sorry, I'm getting quite emotional lately. my nan recently passed away, right?
Oh shit!
And I'm not gonna start fucking crying. Right, don't worry. But whenever I used to go around hers, she used to have this little place in Harlow, right?
Yeah.
And she used to make the best tea, and she used to fucking fill me up with biscuits, like little rich tea biscuits.
Yeah.
And just having that flashback just made me a little bit emotional. But yeah, they are lovely. She gave me too many because I was very fat growing up. So it's,
that is a nan's prerogative, though.
Yeah, it didn't really do, my fucking bullying at school not much good because I was sort of severely overweight. But yeah, those were lovely.
Yeah.
I mean, they was probably, absolutely full of
they're
calories.
all packed full of.
Yeah, but I used to do a pack of them round her house, basically, pretty much. And obviously, if I was around my mum and dad's, they'd be like, "No, don't do that, because you get fat, and well, you are fat." But she was like, "No, come on, you're fine.
You're gonna make it worse."
Yeah, exactly. She used to wait on me hand and foot and let me eat whatever I wanted.
Yeah,
which wasn't good.
Absolutely. But that's what a nan's there for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Mine used to give me rolled up ham.
Really?
Yeah. That's a real
I feel
treat.
like with a nan, there's just something about the way they make sandwiches and that. I think it's the years in the game because they know what works.
This is why when you try to apply for jobs and they say we need someone with so much experience, you're like,
exactly.
I get it though, because those sandwiches are classic.
Sorry, but there's no good 21-year-old good sandwich maker out there.
No,
there's not. They're not. The good sandwich makers are 60 plus.
Absolutely.
But yeah, she used to make good stuff. Toast as well. I remember toast like. Isn't it weird? Like she's
I remember toast.
But toast, she used to make like I think it was the bread, and then she would put the butter on it. And for some reason, always used to taste better around her house.
Yeah,
I think maybe the whole experience. I mean, her house was about this size really, and just like it was nice and cozy, and just like so. I don't know. It was the whole experience,
Yeah, absolutely.
It was Michelin star tea and toast making. Is what it was.
Yeah, that's what you want.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
But that's the sort of like quite often sort of sounds and smells make part of an experience, don't they?
Oh yeah, and just the feeling that you have when you're around there as well. I think counts for a big part of it. Because it was just, I won't say, I'll get too carried away. I'll start welling up.
Yeah.
No, it's it's the experiences of. I think it's the memory, it's the feeling in your mind that's attached to certain things.
Absolutely,
someone else, that bit of toast just tastes like a bit of fucking toast.
Yeah.
But to you, it's like, wow, that's the best toast in the world.
Yeah.
Sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? But it's true.
No, I get it, man. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Man, what a great question. Do you like biscuits? Oh, there we are. Bloody shed a tear.
Love a biscuit.
Yeah, man. Ah. My nan died a long time ago, so
did she?
Yeah, I've got only sort of real distant memories of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you have obviously your two nans, or did you only was around for one?
I've not spoken to the other one in almost as long.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of them ones.
Yeah. She.
I was really lucky with like growing up with my grandparents.
Not a massively nice lady.
No, really.
No.
I mean, my nan wasn't a massively nice lady, to be honest, but we fucking put up with her because, my nan was a fucker. She was just like, I loved her, but she was just a nightmare. Like, she used to fall out of people. Really? When she was at this house in Harlow, right, she got fucking police called on her, called my mum, because she would always bitch about this woman next door, had dirty net curtains. One day, she just lost her rag. And went round there and was like, "You need to clean your net curtains. It looks like a shithole around here." And she ended up punching this girl in the face.
No!
The girl was like late 20s. And the girl was so mortified that she just called the police and was like, "Yeah, some 85-year-old nutcase has just hit me round the face." And they went up. They're like, they didn't think it was real. They go around there and they're I think they almost started laughing. They're like, obviously it's not a laughing matter attacking someone, but it is quite funny when it's an 85-year-old woman.
Yeah, that's
funny.
And
obviously it didn't hurt her because she's 85.
Where's the cut-off?
Exactly. Where's the cut-off between, you can't attack people.
Where's the cut-off? I want to start hitting people at a certain
age. Yeah. She used to get away with murders. But, she was just
literally.
She was a lovable rogue, as what I'd describe her.
Yeah.
But yeah. But I was really lucky with all my grandparents, really. My two nans were actually best mates since they were 5 years old.
No, really?
Yeah, because where their families lived, in Limehouse, they were like sort of 1 or 2 rows down from each other. Their families were friends. And because I think they were sort of like both Irish Catholic. So they sort of had that. I don't know too much about it, to be honest. But I know there was a bond there.
Yeah,
their families knew each other. From school, they went same nursery. My nans knocking about with each other. They left school when they were like 13 or whatever. And my nans couldn't read or write. Yeah. Because they were so naughty in school. And it was, at that time, they didn't really need to. So that because they would, people like that, they would go work in warehouses or be cleaners or. Yeah. They didn't need to read or write. Yeah. But anyway, my nans were great mates, and then obviously their families were growing up, and then that's how my mum and dad got together because they were like family friends.
Yeah, of course. Nice.
And yeah, I was really lucky with all my grandparents were great, you know, really just lovely, hard-working people.
Yeah.
I mean, my nan that's just passed away, she was just the most hardest work. But, you know, it was funny in a way because she just used to cause carnage, but it was a lot of hassle as well because she'd fall out with people and punch people and get in, you know.
Yeah.
But it was funny.
Yeah.
It's funny, but it was also hard work. I mean, it's not funny. You shouldn't hit people.
No.
Basically, is what I probably should say. But it's sort of funny when an 85-year-old woman does it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the golden age, isn't it? When you're old enough to hit someone and people laugh instead of
Yeah.
That's the dream.
Yeah, that is the dream.
That's beautiful, man. It's a lovely story.
Yeah, that was it's a nice story. One I'll always tell my grandkids anyway.
Yeah.
Good bit of family history. I'd like to go back actually. And, like a show, Who Do You Think You Are?
Yeah.
I'd just love to know what it, you know.
Yeah.
Because I've been almost thinking about doing it myself. Like I've got 30 at the end of the year. Just want to know more about because one of my granddads was like, really dark complexion, dark hair, jet black hair. He must have had maybe some sort of like, I don't know, Mediterranean in him or something.
Yeah.
And I don't know that side of what my family history was.
Yeah,
I only know that.
Well, you've got a slight sort of Mediterranean look about you.
Well, I think a lot of people I've got green eyes, black hair. I think that's quite I don't know. I think the green eyes is quite an Irish thing, maybe. Freckles.
Right, okay.
The black hairs I get from a sort of granddad, really.
Right.
Because this is jet black.
Yeah.
You know? Some people think I dye it. Like my mate the other day was like, you definitely dye your hair. I was like, mate, I 100% don't dye my hair. And he started going grey, if you see.
I can't tell from here, but
yeah,
I believe it. Yeah.
But it would be interesting to know, wouldn't it? Your family.
Yeah.
You know, what sort of...
I know, like, mine to an extent, because
Have you got any sort of other nationalities in you?
Not really, no.
You look like the quintessential British man.
Yeah.
You know? And you are quite quintessentially British, I think.
Yeah, I've got a podcast about tea.
Yeah. Yeah, but
I'm very polite.
Yeah, you're very polite. You're very polite. You're very nice. Like, very, you know... Yeah, you're very English.
Yeah.
And I think you should probably play more on your Englishness on stage.
I could do. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Not really thought about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably could and should do.
Yeah, you should.
I'll look into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is comedians talk for. I'm probably never going to do that.
No,
it's like when a comedian gives you, have you ever thought about doing this and that with that joke? And you're like, yeah, I'll have to think about it.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, mate, leave me alone. Let me
that's
write my own
genuinely
jokes.
something I could do something with, though.
Yeah,
I've
definitely.
thought about it in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't know what, but yeah.
There's something there.
Yeah, absolutely. How'd we get onto that? Oh, other nationalities. No, so like my granddad's granddad was Irish.
Right.
Like my granddad's surname was Lanigan. So
right.
Like real Irish surname.
Lanigan, yeah, that's really Irish.
And I think his granddad was like something to do with the IRA. It was,
really?
Yeah. And on the other side, my nan's cousin or uncle was a murderer.
Oh,
so
wow.
like there's a I want to look back in my my family.
So if that
tree,
runs in your veins, I might not be leaving this house today.
Yeah. No.
You could be a murderer as well.
You're
like the silent but violent type, I reckon.
Yeah, well, not violent. It'd be like I put something in your tea.
Well, obviously you're not violent, but
No.
as in, yeah, mate, yeah, like what's that thing? What's that thing that Geezer got done with in Russia? Novichok.
What is that? The geezer that
got done with the poison.
Poison. Yeah,
he was
yeah.
against Putin.
Yeah.
Putin, like real. What's the word? Critical of Putin.
Yeah.
And that's mad, isn't it? And he's been like, his tea's been laced with poison.
Yeah.
Oh, Christ.
It's intense.
Nah. I mean, people think we got it bad in this country with this government. But
oh, man.
Mate, it's pretty easy compared to bloody Russia.
The Russians are just an entity unto themselves. Like it's...
I mean, how can you get away with doing something like that? It's scary, man.
Yeah.
Scary.
But they had a law over there that the president could only be in charge for like a certain number of years.
And that ain't...
And Putin came in and changed it. Like, he made the proposal on that. And people were like, no. And he went, okay, so we're going to do it. And then just changed it. And they were like, he was like, oh, I'm in charge, so that's what we're doing. So now he's just in charge until... Yeah. So what can you do about that? The only thing they could do is have like a coup, but there's I think all the like armies and that are so now just indoctrinated and like sort of stuck in their ways of going like, well, yeah, this is what we do. Then
Yeah.
you know, they're in it now until he
Yeah.
dies, and then being homosexual will be allowed.
Yeah. That's not allowed over there, is it?
No, it's illegal. Yeah,
Jesus Christ, that's mad. I mean, how?
there's a lot of things that are illegal that should be.
It's
But
mad
like
to
that,
think once upon a
but
time it was
that's the
illegal in
case
this
in
country.
many countries as well.
Yeah,
It's still illegal in loads of
it's-
countries to be gay, and it's
It's mad. One of my
absolutely insane.
Yeah, my nan's brother actually was Uncle Ronnie. He was gay, and it was obvious. But he'd like never come out.
Yeah,
Spent his whole life
in the closet.
in the closet, and I just think, oh, mate, that's like no one should have to live like that, man.
No,
I mean, obviously back then he just got on with it, but I just think it's so sad, isn't it?
yeah,
That's so sad.
yeah.
Right, there you go.
Because there's stories of people like, I mean, there's there's stories of people from sort of the war, and like some of the guys sort of like that were gay, like they'd sort of hook up or whatever, and then they go home to their wives and live their life with their wives, like, but their wife would always know that they were gay. Like they'd never sort of do anything about it, but they'd just have kids and sort of.
Yeah, to go off and do their thing.
Oh, it's so sad. Yeah,
It is sad, mate. Yeah.
we're back. We've both urinated. How are you feeling?
Yeah, feeling good.
Good. Better.
Yeah, better.
Yeah.
That's annoying, isn't it, when you got to go away?
It's the worst. Like I saw
Oh.
just before you sort of went, I saw that look in your eyes of just like,
Yeah.
oh, come
yeah,
on.
it just makes you feel
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
Now you're a similar age to me, right? How old are you?
29.
You 29.
Yeah, how old are you?
Canal. 35.
Oh, you are 25.
I
Yeah, a
thought,
lot of people think I'm older, I
I,
think.
I thought you were like a couple of years younger than me, but
No, 29.
ah, fair enough.
Do I look older, do you think? I was a
I
bit...
do apologise.
Yeah, no, I'm 29.
I would have, yeah. Well, not a lot older. I'd have said
Yeah.
30, 31, 32,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, that's cool. I get that a lot.
Well, we look a similar age. because
Yes, we
I-
do. You look young for your age.
Yeah. I
You
look,
do. You do
I
look
look
young
good.
35 side, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
You do. Yeah.
Well, in that case, I'll get a youth's perspective on this.
Go on.
Because, right, do you drink... So, obviously, you drink a lot of tea anyway, but do you drink tea in hot weather to cool you down?
I'll drink tea at whatever temperature. Like if I'm on holiday in Spain or something, I'd love I get back from the beach, love a cup of tea, sitting on the balcony.
Yeah. But do you drink it to cool yourself down? Because there's that, I don't know, let's say rumour that if you drink a hot drink in hot weather, then it regulates your body temperature.
Yeah, they say that about if it's hot, then you should have a hot bath because
Really?
that makes you cooler. Yeah. No, I don't want to do it to warm me up. I just do it. It's like a bit fuel for me, really. Tea.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
the
don't
main reason I
do
have
it
it.
to change my body temperature at all, though.
No.
No.
Well, I mean, it doesn't work either.
Nah.
Like, I don't, in the middle of winter, think, oh, do you know what? I'm gonna have an ice water. Because that's nonsense.
No.
No, you have a hot drink to warm you up, and a cold drink to cool you down.
I agree.
Good, we got to the bottom of that. This is I've asked this of one other person, and it came of a conversation with Brennan Reese where
Right.
he said that he went into the sea with his friend, and they shouldn't have because the current was too strong, and like they were
Right.
warnings out the current's too strong. They went in sea anyway, and like he said he basically nearly died. Conversation led on, right? If you with your friend and you were doing something sort of foolish and your friend died, would you tell their family, or would you like sort of make up a lie and run, or just not tell him, just run away?
What? You didn't murder them, did you?
Well, no, but like you know,
Oh no, I'd
Was
tell their family. Yeah, 100%.
yeah. What
Would
would
you
you
be able to live like?
would you
more
tell
from
them
a
the
selfish
truth?
Point of view, because I couldn't live with myself.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd tell them the truth. Yeah,
Yeah.
just get out and just be like, "This is what happened." Yeah, it was rather that than fucking, trying to bake up some bullshit story.
yeah. Fair, right? That I don't think I'm going to ask that question anymore because it's not fun, is it? It's
No.
No, good. Okay, you got to test things. That's the thing. Like
course
new
you do.
material, you got to test them more than once to know for certain that that's not a good question. Are farts funny?
Farts are hilarious.
Yeah, good. My fiance disagrees.
Only if it's your fart though. If it's someone else's fart, it's not funny.
I
It's
don't know.
disgusting.
Could be like a well-timed fart.
It's only funny if you fart. because it's funny because you get to see people's reactions.
Yeah, okay. So you only
But
laugh at your own
there's
farts.
no
But
laughing matter about
imagine you're
smelling something from someone else's asshole.
imagine you're in a cinema, right? And there's a real sort of like tense climactic point, and then someone a couple of rows over, so far that you can't smell it, but they just let out a ripper. In that side, like
And that still freaked me out a little bit.
what? Oh, mate. Okay.
Because it's
Fair
the
enough.
anticipation of thinking, oh. And no, it doesn't smell, but those sort of juices are in the air.
Oh,
No,
Jesus.
thanks.
Well, fair enough. Cool. So that's farts are sort of funny, but
Yeah.
not. Yeah, okay, fine. You're wrong, but sure. So what you were filming this morning, right? Is that?
No, I'm filming tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
So I just started doing more sketches and that
Right, okay.
online. Just because obviously lockdown and stuff, I started putting more sort of like writing some sketches and putting videos out there. And, you know, some of them have gone really well. So
Yeah.
sort of carrying on doing it and just doing one tomorrow, which is about drug dealers, basically.
Okay.
So, yeah, I still need to finish writing it this afternoon.
Is it just you that does them, or do you have,
I'm
do you have a
recording
team?
with a guy called Pete Wells.
Oh, okay.
Do you know
I
Pete?
Yeah,
Aussie
yeah.
guy I love him. Love
Yeah,
him to bits.
good guy.
'Cause, yeah, he's a good guy and he's just complete opposite to how I am.
Yeah.
You know, he's an like really softly spoken Aussie and, you know, a bit quirky.
Yeah, yeah.
And but he's really good at filming and stuff like that, and I like his input on the sketches because I sort of write them and I've got this sort of world in my head that obviously I want to sort of put out and, you know, put out in the sketches if that makes sense. But he offers a little bit of critique and like, well, how about we do it this way and that way? So it makes me think outside the box a little bit more. And so yeah, doing it with him and a friend of mine called Sam Piccone, who's another comedian he's sort of helping writing it for tomorrow. But yeah, I've been doing loads of stuff. I was through lockdown. I was doing stuff like on my phone and putting it on Instagram and stuff. But
Yeah.
like now, obviously,
You started filming them properly, have you?
yeah,
Oh,
just
cool.
because in my mind, like I've got the proper equipment. You know, I've got like the
Yeah,
cameras
yeah.
and stuff. I'm like, do you know what? Like, yeah, it's great doing like funny videos on your phone. But for me, I'm thinking, well, actually, what would like, you know, if one day I want to be on telly,
Yeah.
I want, you know, so like you might look at some of my sketches and you think, well, actually, yeah, that could probably be on a TV show.
Yeah.
You know, like, obviously it would be a bit better quality on a TV show, but it's like I like doing things properly as opposed to just filming something on my phone.
Yeah. So do you
No.
want to do like a sketch show type thing?
I think like my dream one day would be, you know, to be a touring comedian.
Yeah.
Where I can go and tour around the country and people come out to watch me. Yeah, maybe having some sort of, whether it be a sketch show or a sitcom or something where I can bring these characters that I sort of see in my life and bring them to life in something, you know.
Yeah.
Whether that be, you know, a sketch show or whatever. Like, there's a great program at the moment that I love called King Gary.
Okay.
It's on BBC by Tom Davis.
Oh, I love Tom Davis.
Yeah, he's the man, mate. I think he's great. But he very much, I mean, that's a sitcom.
Yeah.
But he very much started off doing sketches, you know, with Keith Lemon and stuff. And so a bit of both, you know, a bit of maybe, you know, I love like the Fast Show as well.
Yeah.
So I love those short form sketches where you can play about those characters. You know, it's quite fun, but also maybe one day having a sitcom. But yeah, my dream would probably be having a sketch show and being a touring comedian.
Yeah.
You know, doing that really and not really doing much else because I'm not really interested in doing, you know, any sort of, don't know, you know, like there's always people doing panel shows.
And that,
Yeah, like panel show. I don't know. I mean, one day maybe get off the panel show. Yeah, I'd 100% do it. But like in my dream, it should just be a touring comedian, and then having maybe like somewhere I can do the sketches.
Yeah.
And then not really doing much else in between. I don't want to be massively famous.
Yeah.
It's not really my goal.
No.
I just want to be able to do my work, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and not be like, I don't know, going to all these film premieres. And, you know what I mean? That doesn't interest me at all. I just want to be able to do the work that I like doing and then being off the radar.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
Nice. Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
So have you sort of written any sitcoms or anything like that, or just...
No, it's quite hard to write a sitcom. I wouldn't know where to start, to be honest. I've got a few ideas for a couple, but that's what I like about the sketches is because you can write. I mean, the sketches I write about a minute and a half.
Yeah.
You know, I get 4 punchlines in there, and then sort of duck out, and then you don't really have to think so much about a narrative or anything like that, or making it connect. It's very much doing a short sketch. It's very much like writing just a joke for stand up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of a sitcom, I would not know where to start. I mean, I love so many sitcoms I love, but I just wouldn't know. I think I'd need someone who properly would know what they're doing in a writing sense in terms of creating, you know, a beginning, middle, and end, and creating characters, and you know, like I said, creating a narrative. Because I wouldn't have a fucking clue where to start with all that sort of jazz.
I mean, there's loads of books and courses and stuff like that.
I'm sure I could sort of half learn it. Yeah, maybe one day I will.
Yeah.
You know, I've always thought it'd be quite good to do a little web series, a mini series.
Yeah.
And I've got a few ideas, but I'm happy doing what I'm doing. You know, doing the stand up and trying to record the sketches, and hopefully if we get this podcast going, then that'll be something else to put out there.
Absolutely,
and do. And I quite like the idea of podcast because it's like, obviously, editing it takes a little bit of time, but you know, like this is very like organic. Don't really take much, you know.
Yeah. We're just having a chat.
Having a chat and
a cup of tea. Yeah.
Funny things come from it, you know.
Yeah.
And I like podcasts because you get to know someone a little bit better.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, which is good. You get to sort of see what they really like, I think, from the podcast.
Yeah, well, certainly a more real representation of them than you would see in stand-up, for instance. Yeah,
because, you know, stand-up is still an act, isn't it, really?
Absolutely,
we all put on our act when we do stand-up. We're like an exaggerated version of ourselves.
Yeah.
Podcast's a bit more chill. I think you get to see people's really sort of more of their faults and slows things down a bit, and it's not, you know, stand-up is quite 100 miles. I don't know, it's like it'd be a bit 100 miles per hour.
It's immediate in both senses, in that like you're immediately getting a response, which is like it's a lot of things that people like about it, is that when you're performing stuff, like you're getting that response then and there, but it's also immediate in the sense that you need to immediately be like, every word that you're going to say, everything you're going to say to people out loud, like you have to have it nailed. Do you know what I mean? So whilst you can sort of bluster your way through a conversation, like you can bluster your way through a set, but it's never going to be as good as someone who comes out and just fucking smashes.
yeah, exactly. So, I'm looking forward to getting a podcast set up. You know, I do enjoy sort of talking, having a chat, and you can just it's just, I don't know, find it more.
So once you get into it, it's pretty simple, straightforward. You know, you just get chatting, and then I think they can start a little bit awkward, but like once you've sort of got into a couple, like you'll get a rhythm for it, and you'll learn the sort of the general shape of sort of what you're trying to achieve. And it's cool, man. It's good. It's a good way to connect with people as well. Like, you're going to be
when I get mine started, I get you on there.
Yeah, man. I was going to say you're going to be having guests.
I think so. I think it's going to be mainly us two.
Yeah,
talking nonsense and you know, having a laugh. But yeah, we probably have a guest now and again.
Yeah,
just to sort of jazz it up. And there's quite a few people that we like to speak to, that we speak, you know, that we know.
Yeah,
that I think would be interesting to have a chat with, that, you know, sort of people know as well, a bit more in the public eye.
Yeah.
And it'd be good to, you know, get talking to them a bit. But it'd be good just to have a show. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Like now, I do my stand up and do the sketches, but with podcasts, it's a proper show, isn't it?
Yeah.
Something more tangible, I feel.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's nice to have. I mean, it's nice to have a creative outlet anyway, but it's nice to be able to put your own brand on something, sort of quite so definitely.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
it's all about the brand.
Yeah. Mine is quintessential British. Man.
Mine is. Don't know. Well, I know what mine is. Don't know. Lad. Yeah, no,
not lad.
Sort of a lad. Sort of trying to be a lad, but not really.
Lad adjacent.
Yeah, just a little bit more like wanting to be a lad, but not really getting it right. And you know,
I mean, that's the best comedy most of the time, is people getting stuff wrong. So
100%. Yeah.
I mean, Greg Davies' Man Down, like he's just getting stuff wrong.
He's
all
good,
the
Greg
time.
Davies.
He's great. Yeah, he's really good. Yeah.
Who's your favourite comics? Top 3?
Acaster.
Yep.
Acaster, James. David O'Doherty.
Right.
And I don't know. I've seen a lot. Who? I don't know. There'd have to be another one.
Pick one.
No,
that's a good 2 though.
Yeah,
you don't need a top 3.
No, I really like Dave Gorman.
Yeah,
he's great.
It's funny how
There's
people
so
that you like
many.
have an influence on sort of what you end up creating.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You take a little bit.
Well, do you know what? Because there is that, and there is getting influences from people that you like. But I made this point a little while ago because people would say to me, like after gigs or whatever, like, "Oh yeah, you've got a sort of a James Acaster vibe," and like that's like I'm not trying to be like that, but I was worried that like, oh shit, what if I'm copying him?
Yeah.
And then I realised what it is that we watch the comedy of things that we like, you know,
Because you find it relatable.
absolutely. So when you
Yes.
see someone else with a similar sort of attitude to you doing something like similar to how you would think, you're not taking stuff from them. You're realising that in yourself.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, sure, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I think it's sometimes lazy for people to go, oh, you remind me of this person, that person. It's like, well, if you actually like listen to the jokes a bit more and see what I'm doing, you see that it's actually, you know, it's a lazy thing.
But at the same time, if that's someone they like, and if they can group you in with that same person, then they're going to find you more relatable because they're seeing you through that sort of tinted glass, as it were.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, for me, big influences. I mean, they change all the time. I've just got so many, but yeah, I mean, a lot of the comics I love are American. I love Aziz Ansari.
Okay.
I love his sort of like positive, sort of, you know, that sort of. I just love him.
Yeah.
But then, Dave Chappelle's great.
Yeah.
Ricky Gervais, I think he's brilliant.
I mean, like early Dave Chappelle, not to say anything against what he's doing now, but like that was the stuff that I was watching and going like, oh my God, that's so funny. Like my friend Chip.
Yeah.
Like my white friend Chip.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. Such a funny
But
bit.
I like the stuff he's doing now. I know that some people have been criticising.
I've not watched it.
It's not as PC, but
I've not seen it. Yeah.
For me, that makes it funnier. Like,
like
I don't know. I feel like we've gone a bit mad with all this. I don't know. Some people are so quick to jump on. For me, I was saying this to someone the other day. For me, there's a line that you can't step over.
Yeah.
Right. Where, you know, it's not funny and it's wrong to just, you know, say outwardly racist or prejudiced things.
Yeah.
Right? That's not acceptable.
Right.
But it's
I'm not racist.
But it's funny to tread that line. Like, as in where you go up to that line, you don't step over it, but it's like, and that brings people together because people like tense, I feel like, with the build up, and if you say something, it then brings people together to be like, oh, we can all have a fucking laugh together,
It can be, yeah, that can be a real sort of clever way of doing it, for sure. But I just think as well, people... Because here's the thing, right, sorry to interrupt.
It's all right.
There was, I found myself, I had like a real sort of crisis of confidence a few years ago because I saw someone who, like, I looked up to them. They were sort of slightly better than me, and they're not now. I'm better than them, but fine. But they were saying at the time, like, if you're not offending people, then you're not being funny. And I was like, oh God, maybe I need to do more like offensive stuff and like.
I don't think that's true.
And it's not true at all because.
You should never set out to offend.
No, but that's one type of comedy. Like, you might want to do sort of like edgy, on the line stuff that, like, you know, people are questioning, going like, oh, can they say that? But also, there's a lot of comedy now. Like, you look at Spencer Jones, like, it's absolutely absurd and not offending anybody.
Yeah.
But it's so funny.
So funny, yeah.
And
I suppose what I'm trying to say is
it's totally possible to just be silly.
No, and I agree.
That's the thing about comedy.
But I think
funny.
for me, I suppose my mentality to the way I write my jokes is like, I find my funniest jokes are where I'm saying things that, I don't know, that are sort of closer to that line personally. Yeah. But I say it in quite a tongue-in-cheek, cheeky way.
Yeah.
And it's a joke.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I sort of get away with it because you can see that on stage I don't know, I'm a bit more sort of like, I don't know, try and be likeable on stage.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm not saying, you know, certain people won't be able to say things because they say it with real venom.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm very much, when I tell my jokes and the way I convey my message is very much like we're all in this together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the sort of vibe I try and get across.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you should never just set out to offend. That's wrong. And I mean, I would also say you can't please everyone.
No.
You know what I mean? And comedy that tries to please everyone, 9 times out of 10 is usually not that fucking funny.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, part of you's got to be like, well, like, you've got to accept not everyone's going to like this. But yeah, I think it's wrong to just set out to offend. I don't think, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think that's...
Yeah, some people are going out of their way to do that. And, like, for a time, because I just sort of saw this clique of people that were, like, all trying to, like, out-dark each other. And I was like, oh, God, maybe I need to do that. Maybe I need to be making big political statements. Like,
I think it can be
off.
the wrong thing to knock about with loads of comedians.
Yeah,
I've got, you know, like you, Ross, you know, I count you as a mate, you know. I'd say they're my mate, you know, in sort of a comedy sense. But it's not like I don't spend loads of time with other comedians, you know. I don't really socialise with them. I see them at gigs, and I feel like that's why... I don't know, like, especially when you go to Edinburgh Fringe, you notice it's all very cliquey and very, like... very, like, it's like being back at school a little bit, you know, people in little groups, and they're talking about, different people set. It's like, I'm so fucking removed from that.
Yeah.
And I would never not want to be anywhere near that, because that would influence my comedy, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
I pride myself on being a guy that can just wander and flit around between groups.
Yeah, I'd go out for a bit of lunch with someone.
Oh, yeah.
But I've got, like...
You see the cliquey groups, but I like it's my absolute favourite thing is just to wander into a group, drop like some hilarious bomb, and just be like, "See you later." And it's like, "Who's he? Can he be part of our clique?" No, thank you, not for me.
But a lot of what I noticed about a lot of comedians, especially in like sort of London and stuff, like they don't have any other friends other than what they've got in the comedy community. And I'm like, nah, that's odd. That's weird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people, so I've been criticised in the past because people are like, God, so after your set, you leave straight away. Like, you're not going to stay around, like, be a bit more part of it. I'm like, no, I've got a life.
Yeah.
Like, I know what I want to achieve out of it.
Yeah.
You know, I come, I do my thing, do my new jokes, I come and do my spot, I get paid. I'm out of there.
Yeah.
You know? And the relation, and the rate, like, I don't have, like, a group of comedy friends. I've got separate people that I talk to and have a chat with about things, but... Yeah, I don't get involved in any of that. I'm not in this sort of comedy cliquey thing. You know, I see people at gigs and, you know, it's nice to see them get along with them.
Yeah.
But I don't really, you know, go any further than that.
Yeah. I mean, like, sort of like Ross McGrain and Matt Adlington.
But they're mates before comedy.
No, I met them through comedy.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Yeah, I met Matt first at a gig, and then he was like, "Oh, come and do this night in Southend." I was like, "There's a night in Southend?" Like, amazing. So I went down and but like we're just really good friends. Sort of like we all hang out all the time outside of
but it's
comedy,
it's different with you boys.
Yeah,
like you've actually got like I would say like a friendship, like a legitimate friendship. If you know what I mean. I'm talking more about
contrived
within the London circuit, and when you go up to Edinburgh, there's sort of like these pockets of
venomous
mates,
cliques.
And there's like comedians that hang about with other comedians because they feel like maybe get something out of them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you see like a comedian knocking him, like he won't leave another comedian's side because the other comedian is quite successful. Yeah. And he's obviously trying to get to a bit up the ladder, a bit more quicker. Do you know what I mean? It's like, well, actually, the only thing that really, you know, you ain't gonna get any further by sticking your tongue out his arsehole. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like you're gonna get further along by getting better at jokes and doing your own thing, you know, putting your own stuff out there. And but rant over.
Yeah, absolutely. Fuck them. They've learned their lesson. Right. So, what are your social media platforms?
What are my social media platforms? So the biggest one is Instagram, which is at JamesEJosh.
Yeah. I'm writing that down. I already knew that. I've already tagged you in the post today. But
that's cool. And Facebook is at Josh James Comedy. And then website is joshjamescomedy.com. And I'm not on Twitter because it's full of cunts.
Yeah.
And I'm not on TikTok because it's full of kids and paedophiles.
Yeah, that is a bold statement, but sure. Yeah. So, and you're just putting sketches out. Have you got any of the professionally filmed sketches?
Yeah, they're on my Insta.
Are they up now?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry that I've not seen them.
That's all right, mate. They're not for comedians. They're for real people. So it's...
Yeah.
Yeah, I done one the other day, East End Hipster. That went down quite well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but some of them have gone...
Oh, well, no, I think I saw that the other day.
Yeah. Some of them have gone really well. I've done one about a Range Rover commercial.
Oh, okay.
And that got shared, 20,000 views, got shared nearly 3,000 times. Mad, isn't it?
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
crazy.
It's cool, man. Yeah, it's quite cool. You know, it's nice to see people reacting well to
I've seen a lot of that during lockdown, actually. Sort of various friends they've just hit upon a certain niche.
Yeah, I think I
And,
think I've been doing stand up long
I think
enough.
that's something that lockdown has been good for, is that it's given people a chance to reflect on what
Yeah.
they've been doing and sort
Yeah.
of find their thing. Because, like, do you know Rosie Holt?
Yeah,
Yeah, because she's been killing it during lockdown.
really.
Yeah,
What's she been
have
doing?
you seen her ironic videos?
No.
Like, she's been posting as like sort of middle class Karen type.
Right.
No, I hate the term Karen.
How's she
because-
been getting on with that? Doing well.
Oh, yeah, big numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, every single one. Yeah,
It's all about the online now.
yeah.
So important. I feel like you got to be
And
doing it.
now I just want to say, so you're probably about to get like massive, because she released her first video about a week after I released an episode with her, and
Right.
and now she's basically famous. So give it a week and you'll be huge.
Good for her.
That's my
She always got, when I met her, she seemed quite nice.
yeah.
I don't really know that well though.
Yeah, it's done well. She found what I'm saying is she found her niche as just doing this character of a woman, sort of not ironically, like, so the character she's doing is being ironic, but like sort of all the sort of the gammons and the like that are saying like, oh, you know, all lives matter, and then so she'd do like a ironic rant about all lives matter, sort of
I'll have to check that
ripping piss out of it. It is really funny, yeah. Cool.
out. How are we
Okay.
going for time?
Yeah, we've done an hour and 20.
Oh wow!
So, which includes like wee breaks and stuff. So yeah,
So do you wrap it up soon?
yeah. I think it's important that we do.
Yeah. Cool.
I'm getting a bit tired. Not like I'm getting a bit tired. You need to like, you know, when you've been talking and thinking
Yeah.
for too long, and your brain just starts
Yeah,
going.
no, you need you need
Yeah.
to call it a day.
Yeah, cool. But yeah, it's been good. It's been really nice.
Thanks for
chat,
having
man.
me,
No,
mate.
thanks so much for
I
coming
really
on.
appreciate
Been
it.
really
and,
lovely.
You know, and yeah, I think it's great we're doing this podcast. And
yeah.
I appreciate you getting me on, mate.
Oh, no worries, man. I'm looking forward to going back and editing this, because there's some
We had some
really
good chats.
really nice moments.
I'm a
in there.
chatterbox.
Absolutely. yeah. Well, 25 minutes in before I
Yeah.
even introduced the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's good. Right. So yeah, got all those bits. What gigs have you got coming up?
So I've got 3 next week.
Yeah.
I don't know where any of them are.
And I don't know if this will come out in time.
Yeah, so I won't say about them.
No.
but
cool. Sounds
yeah,
good.
no, I've got.
Are you going to post about them?
I'll tell you what, I've got a good one. 24th of October.
Yeah.
Backyard Comedy Club in Bethnal Green.
Oh, wicked.
And I'm probably going to do something for to raise some money for the Care Workers Society.
Oh, that's lovely.
And also a mental health charity. Don't know which one yet, but male mental health one.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, lockdown's fucking people looking after my nan and that. So
Yeah.
they need to, I feel like it'd be nice to help them out a bit. And also,
Yeah, definitely.
you know, I'm a bit mental, so it'd be good to raise some money for the old mental health stuff. So
Yeah.
uh,
what are you going to do for that? Like through comedy or?
yeah, probably do something at Backyard Comedy Club
Right.
in Bethnal Green. But yeah, I'm just trying to sort of get a date sorted and stuff. But
Yeah,
hopefully
yeah.
I'll announce that shortly. And you know, we
Oh,
can
fine. I will come and play it. That's
raise, yeah, you're in. Just raise some money for you know, for some good causes, basically.
Yeah.
and-
Oh, that's great, man.
but it's all fucking up in the air because of, you know, this
It's tough. Yeah.
virus.
I'm trying to organise a thing at the minute, which sorry to detract from your incredible point. Like, I'm trying to organise. So I've had one live episode of this recorded with Stuart Goldsmith at Southend Comedy Festival last year,
Yeah.
which was really good fun. But I had on my favourite musician, or one of my favourite musicians. I had him on the podcast during lockdown. And so I want to try and either get him back or some other cool musicians that I like. I want to get them in for live records, but also do some stand-up at the start, then get a little live
Yeah, nice.
acoustic set from them, and then I'll have a chat with them.
Good
That's the
idea.
plan. I'm
That's
trying to
great.
book that, but
Yeah,
it's
do it, mate.
it's tough.
Yeah, stuff.
It's hard booking stuff, but
Yeah, it is.
I'll find it. I'll get it. Yeah, and then hopefully I'll be selling some merch by then as well.
Yeah.
So people will
What
be
about
like,
the merch?
"Oh yeah, let's buy a mug and a sticker." Yeah, cool. Right, thanks, man.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks for listening, everyone. I love you. Bye.
Oh, see you later.
So that was Josh James, very funny guy. I love him. He's a great bloke. So you can find him on social media, as he just said. Instagram is @JamesyJosh. Facebook is /Josh James Comedy, and his website is also joshjamescomedy.com. Go and check those out. Don't forget to check out and like and subscribe to this podcast. Tell your friends. Go and drop us some likes on all the social medias and follows and retweets and all that sort of thing. And I really, really appreciate all of the reviews on iTunes and the like, because that helps with sort of visibility, which is very important for getting seen and things like that. Now, the exciting announcement I mentioned at the start is that I mentioned a little while ago that I'd been in touch with some exciting podcast guests. Well, I've just confirmed that I'm booking with Matthew Crosby of Pappy's and Matthew Crosby and Gamble's radio show and the other things that Matthew Crosby's done. So I'm very excited about that. I've long enjoyed his work. So yeah, very excited for that to happen. That's going to be great. So yeah, hopefully that'll happen soon, and just keep your ears out for that. That'll be a smasher. Don't forget to check out, as Josh was mentioning at the end there, he's going to be doing some stuff for charity at Backyard Comedy Club, which I don't know exactly when that's going to happen yet, but keep an eye on Josh's social medias and hopefully that'll come up and then you can come to that. So as ever, thanks for listening. I appreciate you. I do. I love you all. I appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in. Stay safe. Next episode will be coming much sooner than the gap between that one. It was just an impromptu rest, is all that was. It was just a little impromptu rest, and I'm back on the game. So until the next one, be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Let's just all be kind. It's a tough world, isn't it? It's weird. So let's just spread the love to each other wherever we can. It's very important. Be cool. Drink tea. I love you. Goodbye.